This time around, I'd like to show you how to create these custom key fobs. Very simple, very easy to do, and you can create them in any size really, up to obviously the maximum cutting length of your cutting mat. You can add charms to them, you can add all sorts of different things. It's entirely up to you. But basically, if you do make to sell for charity, these are super quick, inexpensive, and great for appealing to all sorts of different demographics. Anyway, let's take a look. First up, let me quickly show you some of the things I've used. I'm using my DX1200 machine, rotary auto blade, fabric mat, some faux leather, 1-inch lanyard keychains, and large rubber coated running pliers. More on those in a bit. So first up, obviously take the protective sheet off the mat, put the faux leather down. Doesn't really matter which way around you're going to go with this because we're just using rectangles, so whichever you feel gives you the best result. Generally though, I put it wrong side down because I want to be able to scan the sheet and see where I'm cutting. Use your brayer to help stick it down if you feel the edges are lifting up, but the fabric mat should have enough stick to hold it in place. Next up, load the mat into the machine as normal. Then we're going to switch out the blades. So I'm taking out the standard auto blade and putting in the rotary auto blade. Lock it in place. Then, from the pattern selection in the machine, just choose a basic square. Turn off the aspect ratio lock by tapping here. Then I'm going to change the width down to around, well, I say around, I'm going to go exactly 0.87 of an inch. Now the lanyards are 1 inch wide, but I found that having it just slightly thinner than that actually makes it look a little bit nicer and more professional. It's entirely up to you. Now make the height basically the length of the lanyard that you want. Not the lanyard, the actual fabric strip. Then scan a preview of the mat. And this is so that I can position the shape where I need it to be. If you've got a full 12 by 12 sheet of faux leather, then you should be okay just to run with the automatic positioning. Obviously, if you're doing lots at once, then you might want to make sure that they're within the cutting area or the fabric sample. So just drag that on. I've got the contrast set to half at the moment so that I can see where I'm putting the shape. If you need to see a bit better, you can also increase that background contrast to full. I find that the half setting is better though. When you've done that, go to the output options screen, select cut, and then in the settings, because I'm using the rotary auto blade, I'm going to set the pressure to auto, scroll down, set the cut mode to normal, scroll down again and make sure that the blade adjustment area for the rotary blade is set to off so that it doesn't actually cut within the material area. Then start. The machine will then go ahead and cut the shape out. When it's finished, unload the mat. That's a fairly obvious one. Then you can peel the fabric away from the mat. I find that getting rid of the outside bit first helps me get to the inside bit, if you know what I mean. So this is a 6-inch strip. Obviously, if you make it longer, your key fob handle will be longer. Now here's the hardware. Basically, you will need just one of those. There are my strips. There's my running pliers. Something else that you might need is a tiny little bit of double-sided tape. This is optional. And a bit of loo roll. believe it or not. To be honest, any cloth, kitchen roll, whatever, it's basically to wipe off any excess grease on the running pliers before you start using them. Now the hardware pretty much comes pre-assembled, so you only need one of those from the packet. Nothing else to assemble there, so we can shove that lot out the way. And now what I'm going to do is basically apply a tiny little bit of double-sided tape to the bottom edge. Trim it, because I didn't trim it beforehand. Silly boy. And what this is going to do is basically give me an extra pair of hands. Because obviously you'll be juggling the hardware, the fabric strip and the running pliers, trying to keep this secure is a bit of a faff. So I just like to do this so that it helps later on. Same again, I'm going to apply a double-sided strip, this time to the outside. Peel off the carrier. And then if I show you the hardware up close, basically you've got one side that's got teeth, 2 teeth, and one side that hasn't. I'm going to stick the double-sided strip to the side that hasn't got the teeth. Just put it in up to the hinge and then gently press so that it holds it in place. Again, an extra pair of hands. Now the running pliers, basically they have a little screw on them that stops them closing all the way shut. And this helps stop mashing your hardware. That's also why they're coated in rubber as well, so that they don't scratch or damage the hardware. So just adjust that screw till you've got maybe 2 or 3 millimeters gap. Then you're going to slide the pliers over the hardware like this and push down in the middle until the teeth have probably gone into the fabric a little bit, as you can see there. Then mash over where each tooth is. And believe it or not, that's finished. See how quick they were to make? You can make a whole bunch of those in an afternoon. And as I showed you earlier, here's just a quick reminder. You can do them in all sorts of different fabrics or faux leathers. There are various different styles of hardware as well in the colourings. You could add extra bits of fabric or faux leather to give you little tassels. Maybe even add charms. Or with your zoom engraving tool, engrave some names on them. You can do them any length you want. The length obviously defines how big the loop is. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that quick project idea.